Are you currently dealing with tightness in your low back? Have this nagging stiffness or pain that just won't go away? Well, if so, this is the video for you. Today we're going to cover some simple and effective exercises and stretches that are really going to help reduce that pain, make you move better, feel better, and finally say goodbye to those symptoms. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Dr. Zach Greenway here at Performance Sport and Spine. I'm a sports chiropractor. And what today we're going to do is address your back pain through some simple stretches that you can do almost anywhere. And all you need is a band, a step stool, and a chair or a bench. The thing about back pain or stiffness or even tightness is it may be coming from different parts of your back. So it may be coming from the bones, the joints, the muscles, the tendons, or the ligaments. So sometimes stretches will work for someone and not others. We're going to give you a bunch of different options. We recommend trying all of them and then focusing on the 3 to 5 that are most effective for you. There's no magic fix here, but focus on the ones that give the best bang for their buck. For each stretch, we're going to give you the normal version, a slightly easier version, and then a more challenging version. We want to address it to your current symptoms and fitness level, so make sure to either start at the normal one or make it a little bit more challenging if you need, or easier if that's better. Two important things I want to talk about before we start the stretches and movements is we want to think about the spine as there's a bunch of individual vertebrae. So when you do things like bending forward, I want you to think about each joint needs to bend a little bit, not all the movement coming from a few joints. So really think about the segmental motion, not just the overall range of motion. And the second thing is when we're doing these stretches, it's not just about feeling less stiffness or tightness, it's about building more confidence in those range of motions. So some of these are going to have a light weight or a band because we want to build that confidence and that strength through the full motion to not only let the spine move there, but be confident to do it under load. So think about making sure each segment is doing what it should, and that when you do this, do I feel safe or more confident, or am I forcing it too hard or underdosing it too little and not building that confidence? Standing march. We're going to lift our leg up and pull to our chest and bring our chest towards our knee, and then repeat on the opposite side. You want to feel some good stretch in that low back and make sure to breathe through the full motion. To make this easier, you can put your hand on the wall as we demonstrate here, or you can put a band around your feet. Seated forward bend. So in a seated position with our knees at 90, place our forearms on our thighs. We're going to slide forward as far as we can, feeling a stretch in our low back, and then return to the starting position. Make sure to breathe through the full motion and try to bend forward and bring your chest down the ground as far as comfortable. To increase the difficulty, straighten your knees, and to make it easier, place your hands on your knees to brace. Seated leg raise. So in that same seated position, we're going to raise our leg up and then pull with our chest, bending forward, and then return to the starting position and do the other side. To make this more challenging, what you can do is just pull your leg and not move your torso, or you can put an ankle weight around your leg to increase the difficulty. This is going to stretch that QL muscle on the side of our pelvis and our hip. So with our weight on the bench, with our leg kind of hanging off, we're going to let our weight of our legs stretch our back right here and tilt your pelvis down, and then lift your leg up and pull your pelvis up, drop it down, get a good stretch right here, and then lift your leg up and bring your pelvis up. To make this easier, you're going to bend your knee to make a shorter level arm, or to make it more challenging, put an ankle weight around your foot. Banded cat-cow. So in that hand and knee position on the floor, put the band around your back and anchor it to the floor with your hands. And we're going to round our back up towards the ceiling and then return to an arched position. One thing on this top position is I want you to think about squeezing your glutes and really pulling your belly button up towards the ceiling to get that full arch as much as you can. And then lift your head and arch the other way. To make it easier, you can do it without the band, or to make it more challenging, you can use a stiffer band. So sideline rotation. So the top leg is straight and the bottom is going to be at a 90-90 and the bottom arm is straight out. Put your hand on your hand and we're going to rotate to our low back, following our hand as far as we can, and then return to the starting position. Try to keep this knee down so you really rotate through your low back and not other areas. To make this easier, you can put your hand on your head and reduce the range of motion, or to make it more challenging, you can put a band between your hands. Quadruped rock back. On your hands and knees, we're going to push back with our hands and rock back onto our heels, letting our back relax, and exhale, and then return to the starting position. Again, use the motion of your arms, let your back relax as much as you can, trying to go farther with each rep. To make this easier, you can go on your forearms, as we demonstrate here, or to increase the difficulty, you can swag your hips from side to side. Supine rotation. On your back with your knees bent, put a pillow or a ball between your knees, gently squeeze the ball or pillow, and rotate side to side, letting the weight of your legs kind of stretch your back and trying to go closer to the floor with each rep. To increase the difficulty, cross one leg over the other and then repeat on the opposite side, or to make it easier, put your hands to limit your range of motion initially. Keeping your back relaxed, gently lift your legs up and pull your knees towards your chest. Hold for a few seconds and then keep them down on the ground. Try to keep your feet close to your back so it doesn't arch your back too much. Hold and then lay them on the ground. To make it easier, do one leg at a time, or to increase the difficulty, hold and then take 3 breaths as you hold that position. So 90-90 hip position, which is going to stretch our hip and our back. Cross your arms, bend and twist to the right, come back, and then repeat. Do this on both sides. To make this easier, put your foot up on a bench, or to make it harder, hold a weight. Elevated push-up to cobra. So in an elevated push-up with our hands on a bench or a table, we're going to arch our back towards the floor and look up, and then push our buttocks towards the ceiling and bring our head towards our feet, and then repeat, arch, look up, buttocks back, around the back. To make this easier, you can do this on your knees. More challenging, you can do it on the floor in a push-up position. Press up. In a push-up position, press up with your arms, leaving your pelvis on the ground, trying to arch through your low back, and arch as much as you can, trying to fully straighten your elbows. To increase the difficulty, arch and then rotate, or to make it easier, bend your knees. This is a more advanced one. So this, we're gonna have our arm on the bench with our leg crossed over and then our bottom leg straight. We're gonna reach down, bringing our hip down towards the ground, and then rotate up. Again, reach down, tilt the head. You're gonna feel some stretch right here, and then rotate up. Drop the pelvis down, and rotate up.